Right guys, hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be re-going over the Lakai situation, basically because I've learned a lot from the people that are working there at the minute, from some of the employees, some of the reps, and a lot of the information from the CEO himself has trickled down. And this isn't like a PR video where I'm trying to save the reputation of Lakai or anything like that. We're still going to remain completely unbiased. I'm just going to give you what I have learned from interviewing and speaking to the people that actually work there. And no, I'm not talking about people that are in like the business side of things and don't really care about the skaters. I'm talking about actual core skateboarders that have been there for 10, 20 plus years. And when they heard originally about this whole thing kicking off, about the new CEO buying the company, they were all like, shit, where am I going to go now? What am I going to do? They were all pretty much ready to jump ship, so to speak, in the same way that a lot of the skate scene were. Once they found out the actual truth and what was happening and what the plans are going forward, they decided that it was actually better off sticking with Lakai because the future is looking pretty bright from what I found out. So with all that being said, I've got a quick announcement to make first, and that is I finally decided what I'm going to do for my big Christmas giveaway this year. I'm going to be opening a 100% free pop-up skate shop. We're going to have a couple of £1,000 worth of product, literally one item per person at first, but we're going to think of like some games to get second items and stuff like that. So it's going to be one day. I'm going to announce the skate park that we do it at soon. It's going to be near Christmas, somewhere around the 20th of December, where it's going to be a pop-up skate shop. There's going to be dozens, if not 100 or so boards to give away, and it's going to be the biggest skateboarding giveaway maybe ever done, but definitely the biggest one ever in the UK. So if you're a brand or you want to get involved in some way, or you're a skater that wants to come down, reach out to me and we can maybe get you involved. But I've got a ton of my sponsors involved already, and I'm also going to be putting in like £1,000 to £2,000 of my own money. So this is going to be our biggest giveaway yet, and I'm extremely excited for it. So details of that will follow, but that's the idea. I've spoken into existence. That is 100% happening. Free skate shop for Christmas. If you can't afford a board, now's your chance to get into it. But anyway, let's crack on with the main video. So if you're wondering, Webz, what is the whole Lakai situation even about? Well, let's quickly do a recap. I'll use timestamps down below, so if you already know, you can skip past this bit. Basically, this guy bought Lakai, and the reality of it was Lakai has been losing $1 million per year and was weeks away from being shut down. Lakai had been sold twice before due to lack of profitability, and Rick and Mike haven't had ownership in the brand for a number of years. The company was for sale for over a year. There were no buyers who wanted to take on the challenge of rebuilding this company. That is obviously true. After buying the company in an effort to save it, Mark, the new owner of Lakai, offered 10% ownership to Rick and Mike with no strings attached, just to be part of what they created. In addition to equity, they were offered the same compensation as the new leadership team. The only change we requested in exchange was to reduce the current skate team budget by 23% to prevent the company from falling into another near bankruptcy, as the cost of the skate team was greater than the total cost of employees working at the company. Now, the fact that the cost of the skate team was much greater than the cost of employees is pretty wild, but to be honest, the skate team, the people with the boots on the ground, are what's making it popular, are what's selling the shoes. So they're like your whole marketing side of things, and to be honest, they are a massive part of it. But I've since found out some things that would maybe make you agree that some of them weren't quite as deserving as others when it comes to the budget they're receiving. For example, having done a bunch of research, I found out that some of the old team spent a lot of their time on Lakai, not even promoting the shoes. Like, some of them don't even have Instagram, some of them aren't even wearing the shoes in public. There was even one skater that I'm not going to name because I don't want people to go and harass them and blame them for this, but basically this one skater was not even wearing Lakai's in any of their promo videos and stuff like that. And there was another skater on the team that, by the way, all these people are being paid that I'm talking about, paid a lot of money monthly, and one of the skaters on the team was refusing to admit that he had left Lakai, and then one day just released a part where he was wearing only Adidas shoes, and the owners had not even been told. So people are getting paid and taking a paycheck by the company and then completely sideswiping them and wearing other shoes in their video parts, which is insane to do. The fact that the new CEO wanted to cut some of the team budget, I think that's perfectly reasonable. When you think about it, if you're owning and running a company, yeah, these guys are legacy members and stuff like that, but obviously some of them were doing great and promoting shoes all the time, like Jimmy Wilkins and a few others. But when it comes down to it, if you're not promoting the shoe that you're getting paid to promote, it doesn't really matter that you're a legacy member, because you're not fulfilling the role that you're getting paid to do. And a lot of these skaters, I think, do get a bit, entitled to the money because they've been there for so long. They feel like, oh, I'm getting paid for this, I'm going to get paid for this forever. Now, these are all stories from what I've been told. And essentially, the budget cut seems to be pretty justified. Now, you might be thinking, Webz, why are you defending this CEO, venture capitalist guy that probably hasn't done anything for skateboarding his entire life and is trying to make profit out of Lakai? Well, one thing I will tell you, every business has to make profit. That is just the be-all, end-all of business, the whole point of it. So you can't really diss a man for that. But this guy isn't just the suit that you're all making him out to be and that the internet has made him out to be over these past few weeks. This guy grew up skateboarding, actually has been skateboarding for a good portion of his life. Now, a little editor's note here. Basically, in the first video I covered this topic on, I said that I didn't expect this guy to have been a skateboarder. A lot of people did just think that he was a suit that bought the company. But it turns out I was completely wrong about that. And the guy is actually extremely passionate about skateboarding. But we're going to get into that. But I just want to say that, yes, I said that in the first video I expected him to not skate, but I was wrong about that. And now he runs a firm that basically brings businesses from the brink of collapse and takes them to millions and millions and millions of dollars. So he rescues companies, basically. And obviously, as a skateboarder himself, he saw the opportunity that Lakai was failing, thought that's a legacy skate brand, I want to help it out. And legitimately, from my personal opinion and from what I've been told by the skateboarders on the inside of Lakai, has actually got very, very positive motives and has motivated quite a lot of people that it's not just some random suit buying the company. Like, this is what the skaters on the inside of the company have told me. They've had meetings with the guy himself, and apparently he's super inspiring, super into skateboarding, absolutely loves it, has an undying passion for skateboarding like no one they've ever seen in that realm of business. And by the way, like I said, and I have to reiterate this so many times, I'm not speaking to like some PR people that need to put a positive public image out because obviously they know I'm going to make a video. These are people that were ready to leave when they found out a suit had taken over, but when they found out who it was and what they were up to and the passion they had for skateboarding, they decided that the company was actually almost better off going this way. And to be honest, that is a very, very big thing to say. And from them, it means a lot. And I really do trust these guys' opinions, and you guys know that I wouldn't lie to you about anything that I've said. It doesn't really, it doesn't benefit me, really. I was never getting paid from Lakai. They were giving me free shoes, but they weren't pissed off about the last video I made. They didn't reach out to me and say, oh, you shouldn't have spoke about this, you shouldn't have spoke about that. They know that I need to remain unbiased. And while you may say there's a tiny bit of bias under the skin, even if you don't realize it because they're giving you shoes, I'm not being paid by them. I'm being paid by other sponsors, and I would still be just as critical of them if something bad happened with them. Now, the plans that the CEO has for the future, basically, he wants to give as many shoes out to as many people as possible, and he actually has a plan to go to third world countries himself, the CEO going there himself, not sending people, and giving out over 2,000 pairs of free shoes to kids to help get these third world countries into skateboarding, which is obviously massively admirable. But you can say that it's only a PR move to get some positive news about Lakai, but you can say that, and yeah, it may be true, and it probably is true, let's be honest, but it's still a good thing to do regardless of the intentions behind it. And another thing, if we go on this post again right here, this guy says, as a shop who has carried Lakai for nearly 2 decades, pre-booking every single season, this does not sit well with us. Without Rick, Mike and the team, Lakai will be a shell of its former self, and we won't support that. Just a dude trying to save Lakai of his own money? Why? What do you know about Lakai's legacy, about what makes the brand special? Hell, what do you even know about skateboarding? It turns out quite a freaking lot. This guy is extremely passionate about skateboarding and loves it more than a lot of skateboarders I know, that from what I've heard anyway. If you're a skater that still loves the shoes and wants Lakai, buy it from local shops like us. 100% correct. Now, this next statement rings true very well. Mark has upped all Lakai.com products by nearly $30 on the site. Again, true, and there's a reason for this. Mark has upped the prices on the Lakai website so that you do not buy Lakais straight from source. He wants you, and this is a quote from him, to buy all of your shoes from the local skate shops and the core skater-owned brands that are stocking them. And to do that, he's actually reduced the price for people like me and my shop, because I have my own skate shop, Escapism Skateboards. We buy Lakais to sell. They've reduced the prices by like $10 per shoe in some cases. And we're already making like a 50% markup on each shoe. And the fact that they've even reduced that by another like 20% off their price, 33% off some prices, they've made it so cheap for skate shops to buy these shoes that they can make a good amount of money off them. Mark seems to really care about the skate shops and the skater-owned brands that carry these shoes. And to be honest, reducing the prices for them and then putting the prices up on the Lakai store so people don't buy from Lakai themselves, very honorable thing, and it kind of makes it ring true all the things that I've said to you so far. Like, he wants the skate shops to be the ones people are buying the shoes from, full stop. And one final thing, the skate team before was extremely LA based. I think all of their skateboarders were from LA and one was from Japan. And like I said, a few of these guys weren't even promoting the shoes, but going forward, they want to make the team worldwide. They want to get skaters on the team from Japan, Europe, England, America, worldwide. They want skaters on the team from everywhere. So if you had a dream of skating for Lakai and getting paid for it, that dream might just be more possible now than ever. And I'm not the kind of person that's gunning to be on Lakai and get paid for it. Like, I'm happy getting my shoes. I'm happy doing my thing here on YouTube. I make more than enough money doing what I do. So I've got no dog in the game of trying to actually boost myself to pro status on Lakai. For those that do want to follow that career path, it is now completely possible, way more than it was before from whatever country you're from, because they really didn't pay or sponsor any people outside of the US when it comes to actually giving them anything more than product, if you know what I mean. And also it's worth saying that they weren't trying to cut the skate team like Mike suggests in his post right here. They were more trying to just reduce the budget of some of the skateboarders that weren't promoting as much. But I think, to be honest, it is a bit disingenuous of Rick to say that he was let go from Lakai because he refused to cut the team. Like, he makes it out that the whole team was going to be cut off from being paid. That's not the case. From what I've heard, again, I can't say this is 100%, 1,000,000% fact because I'm not in those meetings. So I would take the way this is phrased with a grain of salt. Obviously, he's not lying to you, but this is a bit of an over dramatization of the situation, in my personal opinion, but it's still very honorable that they went down with the ship. But yeah, from what I've heard from the inside, everybody's extremely hopeful for the future of Lakai. It sucks that the main team's not on there, but one thing is that the people involved are actually reaching out to the current team, or the past team, and offering them contracts again and saying, look, we want to give you what they're worth at this time, and even give them a little bit of a severance package and money to last them while they look for a new sponsorship. But they are trying to get the old skaters back on the team because apparently, according to the people inside, they don't know if these skaters were even offered these new contracts by Mike and Rick. But again, that's just speculation. I can't prove that as fact. You may even see a bunch of the old pros get back on the team as time goes by because, again, they are being offered new contracts. They're not just being cut from the team completely like this post that I just showed you would suggest. To be honest, this has kind of like cleared up a lot of my worries about Lakai going forward. It seems they're in a pretty good place, a pretty bright future, and it's going to be like a new generation of skateboarders on there. A lot of older skateboarders, a lot of OG people are going to be quite upset with this, I know still, and I get that, but sometimes a company needs to be taken into the future to avoid being lost to time. That's just my personal opinion. I'll see you guys in the next one.